What's up, Everyday Athlete Podcast Network listeners? Thank you for joining me on another Fireside Chat. I have a very special guest. Her name is Kennis Bero, and although I have been pronouncing it in my head as Bero because I made her Puerto Rican just like I am, why wouldn't I? Everybody wants to be Puerto Rican after that Bad Bunny concert, right? Anyway, we're going to be talking to Kennis about her journey into running, through running, obstacles, social media comparisons, and all the good stuff in there. I got to know Kennis because of Krissy Murphy, who introduced us, who you all know from past podcast episodes, Fireside Chat, What's in Your Earbuds as well. And it wasn't because Krissy wanted to introduce me to Kennis because of running. It was because of dancing, which was awesome. And Kennis continually tags Run Try Mag on Instagram with her dancing videos. Because as you all know, we finish, we dance. But before I bring her on, some quick housekeeping, which is please remember to subscribe, rate, and review the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform. I'm asking you for 5 stars. If you're inclined not to give us 5 stars, please email me before you press that submit button, jason@runtrymag.com, because I want to know what we can do to make your experience with our shows better. Appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And now let's bring Kennis on. Kennis, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am fantastic. And I just realized from my last podcast episode, I put my title as Talking Head and I forgot to take it down. So it's still there.
I see that now. I didn't even notice it until right now. That's funny. I probably wouldn't have either because I'm very unaware.
I had no idea it was there.
No, I think you should leave it.
I'm going to leave it. I mean,
perfect.
If the shoe fits, you wear it, right?
Yes. I have a saying that's not as polite. I say, if the shoe fits, slide that bitch on.
I like it. I'm all in on it. And don't FCC, don't worry. We'll put the explicit.
Okay, perfect. I will try to curb it a little bit because I can have a bit of a potty mouth, but
I mean, clearly we don't need to break the ice because we're just jumping right into the conversation, but we're going to break the ice. You said you kind of cheated a little bit. You're a type A student. You did some research already. So I have to switch up my question now as my icebreaker. Normally it would be pineapple on pizza, yay or nay. But I'm going to change it up to, because autumn is here, fall for those of you who don't drink your tea with your pinky up, are you more apple cider or are you more pumpkin spice?
I'm going to say off the bat, I do prefer apple cider, but I don't dislike pumpkin spice.
All right.
We'll go 60-40. 60 apple cider, 40 pumpkin spice. Because honestly, I'm not going to turn down a nice sweet treat ever. So, but if I'm like when I've tried different things from different places, I feel like the apple cider is the most consistent because pumpkin can either be too pumpkin-y or it's like too much of the pumpkin spice. Like the spice it doesn't mesh well. I do think that maybe some food scientists should probably look into why those flavors combo well, but why one can sometimes outshine the other.
We have a food scientist at Seven Summit Snacks, Kristen Carrier, who's the founder, and she is a food scientist. I'll send her an email.
Please do. And if she ever needs, food testers or anything like that, happy to eat it.
You'll have to go to Edmonton, which means you'll have to bring your parka and your warm boots because I think they're already in winter up there.
All right, maybe not because I don't like the cold. Just kidding.
So I mentioned in the intro that we got connected through Krissy Murphy.
Yes.
And I want to know how you got connected to Krissy Murphy because she is an absolute favorite around the Run Try Bike community. And how did you get to meet this fantastic person?
So ironically, I think I commented on something she posted on Threads or she commented on vice versa, right?
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it was the Clover cheerleading outfit or cosplay that she wore for a race. And I was like, first of all, I used to be a cheerleader, so that spoke to my soul. But then also, I love costumes. And then combining that with running, I was like, oh, she's fun. Let me follow her. And then I just continued like liking her stuff or whatever she would post. And I was like, oh, she seems like a pretty chill person. And then we realized that we had a mutual friend also
Oh
in the running
no.
community. And we were able to kind of like connect through that. What a wonderful and delightful support she has been
100.
as someone who I still consider myself a fairly new runner. So basically, we became internet friends, and now we're like real life friends. And I can't wait. Literally, last night we were texting about Philly Marathon weekend stuff, and I can't wait for her to be here for that whole weekend because we are, a coast to coast friendship. For us to have like girl time together, but she's,
Yeah.
gonna pace me for the 8K that we're doing on Saturday. And then that Sunday I'm running my first marathon. So a lot of really,
Yes.
I know, a lot of really great fun things are happening that weekend. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be doing it with my friend. So
I forgot that you're a Birds fan, so this might be the shortest Fireside Chat podcast in history.
listen, go Birds all day, baby. Did you happen to catch the end of that Eagles game on
It's
Sunday?
it's still baseball season. The Mets are still
Okay.
in a
Okay.
playoff chase, so my football season doesn't start until the Mets season ends, which in the past has
Mm-hmm.
always been week one. I'm watching football because the Mets have stunk, but they've been playing well the last 2 years. So my football season
Yeah,
doesn't start in October.
I casually watch Philly baseball, but I don't follow it enough to call myself a legitimate fan. I'm mostly just in it for the cute clothes.
I got to
And if
tell
I
you,
happen to go right, if I happen to go to a game and the good food at the stadium.
I wouldn't.
But no, I'm a diehard Eagles fan. I actually know and understand how to watch football. Um, yeah, that block on Sunday, that was something else. I think one of my favorite things that I realize about football is when a player who doesn't typically have opportunities to get a touchdown does, because I'm
Yeah,
so much, and this is going to sound very scripted, I'm very much for the underdog. I'm not trying to like steal the whole Jason Kelsey underdog thing. That's always been the thing that I've ascribed to in
yeah.
life, especially with the profession that I chose for myself. But yeah, go Birds all day, every day.
Do you think, like, let's tie this into running then?
Absolutely.
You're running your first marathon at the Philly Marathon in a few weeks.
Hmm.
Are Would you say that you're an underdog in this sort of competition against the course?
Absolutely. 110%. I've never run a distance of that length before, even yet with training. I'm it's more than a few weeks. It's 2 months until the
Okay.
marathon. Please give me every day
You
until
got
then because
it.
I need it. Um, but no, I definitely feel that I don't want to say I'm at a disadvantage. I'm just new. It's
Yeah.
a new experience. So I think anytime you're in a new environment, whether it's running, work, life, anything, you are technically an underdog when you've never done it before because you don't have the experience. You don't have any of that seasonability that comes with a repetitive activity of that nature. So for me, I've been doing a lot of observing of other seasoned runners, really learning how to fuel myself. I think for me, the biggest component that I guess you could categorize as being an underdog is being a person with type 1 diabetes running. Because that adds a whole other layer to
Yeah.
all of the things that you have to prep. Even if when I'm just doing, like short, easy miles, there's still a lot of prep that goes into that. But it's a learning experience, and I'm really excited to see where I end up the closer I get to like the end of November, and how my body continues to change and get stronger. So it's big things in my opinion. Nothing wrong with being an underdog.
Nothing whatsoever. This is your first marathon, but this isn't your first foray into racing, is it?
No, no. So I've done, excuse me, I've done a handful of bigger Philly races. My longest race distance is a half marathon.
Yeah.
But my longest distance run ever is 15 miles. So where I'm like very quickly approaching where those, weekend long runs are all double digits and the digits continue to progress. And it's a little daunting when you look at your training schedule, but no pain, no gain. No, I've done lots of 5Ks, lots of local, not lots, but a decent amount of local stuff. Definitely have been on a few challenging courses. I actually had my first DNF this summer, which really threw me for a loop unexpectedly.
Tell me why.
So it was actually the race that Krissy and I's mutual friend hosts, Everyday Hero, up in Nottingham, PA. This year he added a 10K course, and I was like, I'm always up for a challenge, because you're never going to grow if you don't push yourself. Yeah. So the course there is very hilly, very trail based. I live in a suburb. I'm a road runner. Okay. I've gotten very spoiled with that as well. So I knew that this was going to be a challenge. I decided I wasn't wearing a run belt that day, which was my first mistake. So I had everything in my compression, like in the pockets of my compression shorts. And I took my phone out because I was like, oh, I clicked the wrong playlist right after I started my watch. And I was like, oh, I have to change it. I won't be able to run this if I don't have the playlist I created. And when I did that, I didn't realize my gels came out of my pocket.
Okay.
And as someone with type 1 diabetes, it doesn't matter how many miles I'm running, big or small. I have to always have some type of fuel or carb with me. God forbid my blood sugar goes low. Well, they fell out of my pocket, and I think it was about I was like 1.6 miles in, and I went to just touch my pocket because you just touch to make sure your stuff is there, right? And I was like, they're gone. And I stopped dead in my tracks, and there was a woman like right behind me, and I was like, I turned around and looked her right in the face. I was like, I lost my gels. Like, I didn't know this person.
Right.
And she looked so panicked, and I was like, don't stop running, just keep going. And then as I'm like standing there trying to figure out, okay, what is my next move? Who can I SOS to like maybe bring me something or whatever? The sweeper for the 10K eventually caught up to me. I explained the situation, and he was like, all right, we're going to get you some help, and we're going to figure it out. And as we were waiting, he and I were kind of just discussing, like, do you think it's worth it to continue? Do you think it's not? Well, my body answered that question for me because my blood sugar did start to go low. And by the time the gator came, the dreaded gator came to come whisk me away, I was like, just give me the honey bun and send me on my way. And there is a photo of me with the middle finger up as I'm pulling up on the gator with a very disgruntled look on my face. I've never not finished a race, so I didn't know what that was going to feel like. Yeah. However, my local run club, there was a good handful of them there. They were all really great, supportive. They all said, you did the right thing. You listened to your body. You knew that putting yourself back out there was going to, be a potential risk because now your plan is off. And honestly, I think that when you are in a run and your plan is really starting to, be a little bit disarray or get out of your control, it's not worth it to finish. And no one's, who was going to honestly be upset with me except for myself?
Right.
I did cry on the ride home. Oh, well, I let myself feel sad about it, but it was a learning experience. And I think I needed to experience that, at the end, towards the end of summer, mid-marathon training of you are going to come across failures, but that doesn't mean that the rest of your training is going to be a failure. Yeah. In this moment, the planning didn't go. Anything could happen when you're out there. And that's the biggest thing I take away from running is that you have to be in the moment to know how to deal with what's happening to you when you're out there. And if things occur that aren't what you wanted, you got to just roll with it. Yeah. And honestly, that has over the last year or so of me just getting into running and all of that has been my biggest takeaway is learning to be present in the moment. I really struggle a lot with anxiety and worry about scenarios that half the time don't even ever come to fruition.
Yeah.
But You can't not be in the moment when you're running, because like where else are you going to be? When you're stuck in your head, that's when you trip and fall, or like you almost get hit by a car or something crazy like that. So learning how to regulate like just my thought process in everyday life it's just been so beneficial to me. I think overall running has just added such a physical release for all of the heavy stuff that you feel in
Yeah.
life. Um,
Just know that you're not the
yeah.
only one who has cried at their DNF. My first
Oh,
DNF, I cried as well. That, it's, because you put a lot of effort, you put a lot of
right.
time, you money into it as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
And, nobody goes into a race thinking, I can't wait to DNF, right?
Correct.
Your visions are of finish lines and PRs. They're not of missing
Mm-hmm.
out on things. And so you're not the first person. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about, do you wear a CGM when you're, yep.
It's always on me.
And so is that tied to your watch to alert you like, hey, you
Yes.
need to take a
Mm-hmm.
gel or something of that nature?
Yeah. So basically, what will happen is I have presets in there where if my blood sugar goes below a certain level, it starts to alert me so that I can, act quickly and
Yep.
do something before it starts to get kind of drastic. And that's what ended up happening. So because it Bluetooths to my watch, and my watch is usually connected to my headphones, I hear it in my headphones before I
Gotcha.
have to because sometimes I don't always feel my watch notify me on stuff. Because I think I've just become a little desensitized to it.
Yep.
But when I hear the beep, I'm like, okay, have to stop. That is a thing that sometimes I still struggle with, of when my body tells me I have to stop, I have to stop and address the low and kind of like, okay, can I continue to go on, or do I need to stop? The CGM, I can't run without it.
Yeah.
Because I can't be out there and not know what my blood sugar is. That's a huge safety risk.
Yeah.
Another thing that I always try to do when I'm out on just runs in general is a friend or somebody knows that I'm running,
Yeah.
so that if I run into an issue, I can text someone or call them. Sometimes I'll share, like my mom lives 5 minutes away from me. So I'll share, if I know she's working from home, I'll share my location with her.
Yep.
God forbid I needed to come get rescued or anything like that.
So help me understand, because Sophie Shunk has written a number of articles for us on type 1 diabetes, because she
Mm-hmm.
has type 1 diabetes. She's written about race strategies and eating, and it's one thing to read about it, but I'd love, for me, I'm more of an audio learner. And
Mm-hmm.
so take me through what a process is like for you for a half marathon race, for a 15K, 10K, whatever it is, when you have to plan out taking gels,
Mm-hmm.
taking, electrolyte drink, whatever that is. Like, do you have pen and paper, or like, how do you plot all this out to make sure that you don't run into a scenario where
Right.
you get into trouble?
Well, as I'm getting into like longer mile training, I'm still very much in the learning phase of how my body is going to be. I have 13 miles scheduled for Saturday,
Okay.
and I actually have been kind of like thinking about it. So my plan for this weekend is Friday night, I need to make sure that I eat a balanced meal, that I'm hydrated. I have made the decision that for the next 2 months, no alcohol or anything like that, because I just want to let my body really focus heavy on hydration right now, because that is an area that I do struggle with. I always make sure that I have gels with me. I do usually try to have some kind of like energy chew that's on a higher carb side, so that if I am struggling to like keep my blood sugar at a certain level, I have something higher carb based that I know will give me that boost.
Okay.
There are times where I do have to take walk breaks, because if I'm continuing to like move my body and do an activity that does inadvertently lower my blood sugar, sometimes I have to stop and walk a little bit so she, meaning the blood sugar, can catch up to the activity that I'm doing.
Do
And
you have a name for her?
I have noticed over time that the walk breaks are fewer, because I'm understanding how my body feels when that's happening, and I know kind of like, all right, these are your limits. This is when you can still push a little bit. I my blood sugar does typically drop pretty fast the second I'm like done a
Yeah.
run or race. So always having food or fuel right after is great. Um, Again, I rely so heavily on the CGM to keep me in check, keep me informed. I do have people that follow the app that I use for this as well, so that if they see that something's going on and I haven't alerted them that, like, hey, I see my blood sugar's low, I'm handling it, I have a big safety net with all of that. And I'm really grateful that I've been able to curate that, because I don't think that I would be able to engage in such a high endurance activity if I didn't have that.
You gave me
Um,
a couple of different thoughts right there too, right?
mhm,
Like for those of us who don't have type 1, I put on my running shoes and I go, right? Like I don't
mhm.
really have a lot to think about. Running
Yep.
shoes, and I go, and then I started to think about like for you, even if you're a 30-minute run, like you've got to plan out a lot of things and
Yes.
then you've got to send messages to people to let them know I'm going for a run.
Hmm.
And like, does that make it harder for you to go out for a run sometimes when you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah, so it definitely makes it hard when I want to do those early morning runs, not because of letting people know that I'm doing it. It's the prep that I have to do for my body
Yeah.
physically. So like I can't run without coffee. Like I just can't do it. It's not for me. I don't know how. I know some runners that don't drink coffee at all, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not human, but okay.
I'm with you on that one.
It doesn't. The math isn't mathing for me on that
No.
one. Uh, so typically, how any length of run, this is what my prep is. It's getting myself dressed, and during that getting dressed ready process, I'm usually starting to listen to a little music, so I don't just we finish, we dance. It's also the warm up is dancing as well.
Yeah.
So just kind of like getting myself in a really positive mood. Obviously I'm checking to see where my blood sugar is. Do I need to turn my pump off? I usually turn my insulin pump off anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes before I start a run. That way it's not giving me any more insulin while I'm super active, which would inadvertently make my blood sugar low a lot faster. So I typically will put that in exercise mode, which is fun to do. I've never in my life really been a big exerciser, so that's cool. Um, Again, based on where my blood sugar is, I'll if I need carbs, it's usually a banana, maybe half a bagel, a couple granola bars, depending on the amount of carbs I need. If not, it's usually my food consumption prior to that is something pretty small. I have a difficult time running with food in me.
Okay.
And then it's just as I'm going, usually I will check in, maybe like a quarter of a mile, half mile in. All right, that's where my blood sugar is. And then as I'm continuing to go, it's just checking to see where I'm at, and then I gauge what I need to do. But mostly the prep involved is, how do I feel? Is my blood sugar good enough for me to go out there and do this? Is it really humid? Because humidity will make me drop real fast.
Oh, okay.
So annoying. It's so like today I was gonna go out and run, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of like devil's asshole out here, so maybe not. We can do this tomorrow. I will gladly run in the rain tomorrow. I'd rather. And then do like at right before I'm about to go out, headphones in, lock in. Like, okay, do you feel good? Are you ready to go? Are you confident? Okay, let's go and do it. I don't ever run without gels. Never, ever. I've made that mistake a few too many times early
Yeah.
on. Learned my lesson very quickly. There's
Here
nothing scarier than being out like in the middle of nowhere, or like
here
you have to go knock on a stranger's house with like a juice box or something.
right, like, here's the thing that I find, like, is the one of the weirdest flexes in everyday athlete runners.
Hmm.
Like, I did this without nutrition, I did this without liquids, and I'm like, I've been dehydrated before, and it absolutely sucks. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know why you would flex that bicep on that.
It is also like a in my mind. Listen, if somebody wants to be wild in that way, feel free, but you won't catch me. It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
But
Um,
the thing that you have to do afterwards now for the overcompensation of
right,
being
right.
dehydrated or being undernourished, makes no sense to me. Like,
well, I feel like there's so much more recovery involved when
yes,
you are dehydrated. Why not just keep yourself in a place of like moderate hydration on a regular basis so that if you want to go be out there, not carrying liquids or whatever, you kind of can do it. But
you're
I
you're
don't get it.
I don't get it, but you're a type A student, you said. That's how you
Hmm.
told me in the green room. So do you have your Excel spreadsheet on Matt Smith's water bottle carrying and liquid consumption for all his runs on Strava?
I do not. I do
Right?
not.
Like, who are you impressing, dude? I don't get it, right? Like, nobody's tracking your shit. Fucking
No.
put the
I
water
think
bottle
the
in your hand and run.
Yeah, I think the most that I do in regards to being just very like anal retentive about certain things is I like the routine that I have in my
Right.
like pre-run prep. I really enjoy like getting myself into a good headspace with the music that I'm listening to. I don't know how people run without music. I have too many scary thoughts in my head. I don't need to hear them. And I also don't need to hear myself like breathing like I'm having my heart is about to stop.
I don't
Oh,
listen to music when I run for the
yeah,
most part.
no, I can't do it. I
Shameless,
just can't.
shameless plug. H2O Audio, who you have a
Okay.
discount for in the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse. Um, I've started to wear those on my longer runs on Sunday, the
Okay.
AirPods, and it has changed how I run. And I remember why I stopped listening to music was because I was
Hmm.
running to the beat,
Mm,
and so like my easy pace, just like
okay.
again, just like anybody on Strava, easy pace, and
Hmm.
then you look at their data and everything is in zone 4 and 5, and you're like, that's not
That's
easy,
not it.
right? You're doing it wrong. Anyway, I realized like in my heart, I was going too hard because I was listening to the music because like you,
Hmm.
I hear music, I'm dancing. Like I
Correct.
can't not just sit there and pretend like I don't hear it. But what I've noticed in the last couple of long runs is the music fades to the back now.
Hmm.
And maybe that's just a maturity and an experience in knowing
Possibly.
my body as I'm running. Like, all right, this is a little too hard. Slow down and
Hmm.
catch up. But yeah, for it probably been 12 years since the last time I listened to music on a run of any sort.
12 years is a long time. That is a lot of years of thinking. I mean, I'm already so anxious all the time as it is. I can't overthink when I'm running. I will say that I have really tried to tailor what kind of music I'm listening to when I'm running to match my mental headspace, right? So that
Yeah.
I can stay fully engaged with where I'm at. So let's say I'm just going out for, quick little 5K, get some stuff in. I'm just going to listen to happy things that are just going to keep me going. If it's a little longer, usually the music is or lyrics are kind of like related to working hard and pushing yourself or overcoming something, things to continue to
Yeah.
motivate me. I definitely can't listen to anything sad when I'm
Oh my
running
goodness. About
because, well, that's the other thing is that I find that usually once I'm like 4 to 5 miles in, that's when I'm mentally like I'm still aware of my surroundings, but I can kind of mentally start to check out a little bit.
yeah.
And that's when I'm I'm physically releasing the heavy stuff starts to happen. So I let the music just like you said, you just kind of let it fade into the back, and then every once in a while, like a fun lyrical pop up, and I sing and run. I don't care who hears me. Like
Good for you.
a few weekends ago, I put on Defying Gravity when I was doing my long run down at the beach, and I was running across that bridge, yells, screams, singing Defying Gravity
Yes.
the whole time. I don't care. A car definitely honked at me. Um, and I don't care who hears it. If that in that moment, if that is what the spirit is leading me to do,
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Uh, I don't know. I find that music is so powerful if you
Yeah.
learn how to tailor it into doing what you want it to do while you're running, as opposed to it just being noise to filter out the bullshit.
So two quick things. One, I run on the beach every Sunday, and you said like slow music or love music or whatever. So like a month ago, I finished the run, and I said to Lori, my wife, I'm like, that was just an absolutely horrific run. Like everything about it just
Mm,
sucked. And I realized, like, because I still had my headphone in as I was walking in talking to
yeah.
her, it was like songs that were like Celine Dion and Michael Bublé and Barry Manilow, and I was like, well, no wonder this runs stuff. Like there was nothing on that I was listening to that was gonna pick me
Correct.
up. Like it was all like just droning
Uh-huh.
crooner type shit. And I was like, I don't know how this
Mm-hmm.
playlist got in here, but never again. And you just reminded me. So you've listened to our What's in Your Earbuds podcast. Krissy has been on it.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 2 episodes, we have had so many people chiming in on our live broadcast of it that we actually now have a phone number for What's in Your Earbuds for people to call in with their song recommendations. So breaking
Okay.
news. The phone number is
Yeah, I'm gonna do
424
that.
235 0132. Drop in your songs that you're listening to while you run, and we'll give you a shout out on our What's in Your Earbuds podcast when we do it. Because to your point, music is powerful and it does help move us.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes it centers us, oftentimes it lets us get
Yeah.
connected to the world around us at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you this because you also mentioned that you are more of a road runner than a trail runner. With having to deal with your blood sugar and your levels fluctuating on runs, do you plot out the way cyclists do, swinging by a bodega, swinging by a 7-Eleven? Like, are
Mm-hmm.
you looking at a route prior to and being like,
Yeah.
okay, I know there's a store here?
Not always a store, but I'm just gonna say like a safe spot for me to either, if I gotta stop, check out, bathroom, if I need emergency stuff, whatever. I do try to, like, if I'm running like locally, if it's not, I've gone to another destination to go run. Especially for long runs, I definitely try to make sure I run past. Oh my god, I can't talk. I run past a Wawa. Plug for Wawa. Okay.
Oh,
Um,
Philly never change.
definitely, definitely a Philly South Jersey Delco thing. Um, Wawa has saved me on more times than I can count. And you have to know which, because there's most Wawas have bathrooms, but there's those few old school ones that
Yeah.
don't. And I've figured out which ones will let me use the employee bathroom because I've gone enough
Look at
times,
you.
and which ones won't.
Are you flashing your first
I
100 members card now when you go to those Wawas and be like,
I'm gonna need to put it in my run belt and have it like be a permanent fixture in there, so I can be like, excuse me, I have my black card. I need to use your restroom. Or I'm shitting outside. Whatever you
your
want.
choice?
Yeah, right. So the one really nice thing about my mom living so close is that I can plan for me to be near her home, usually at the midpoint of whatever my run is, and I have one single key that stays in the tiny pouch on my run belt, so that if I do need an emergency, I have a place, and it's a familiar potty. And if I were to actually, God, I haven't shit myself on a run yet, and I'm praying that I never
Okay,
do.
just I
You
gotta tell
know,
you this.
um,
Krissy Murphy is watching us live, and she has the clapping hands up there. And it came before you just said that, but maybe she wants to add those back in for after what you just said.
yeah, it hasn't. I've had close calls. I've had very close calls. So please don't think that GI issues are not something I struggle with as well. Um, but having a safe potty midway through majority of my runs has really been delightful. I also feel really lucky that we have Cooper River Park so close, and there are public bathrooms there. I am going to do my first group long run this weekend, so we shall see how it goes. I know I'm really trying to put myself out there. I've gotten so spoiled with just running by myself and being able to like not have to talk while
Yeah,
I'm running. That is a thing that I didn't realize is
yeah,
hard to do. So when they say conversational pace, they really do want you to be able to have a
yeah.
conversation and have it be
Could you
coherent
imagine running with
ish.
me? Like I don't shut the fuck up. Like you guys would be in.
I don't sh- I don't shut up either. I Every report card that I ever got in elementary school was, Kennis is a delight to have in class, but her talking can
Yeah,
be excessive.
we bring the life to the.
Or it's
We brought life
problematic
to
behavior.
class. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. No, I have quite a few friends that definitely have categorized me as the razzle dazzle type. But again, life is short. If you're not having fun, what the fuck are you doing?
100%. Krissy Murphy gave you this emoji.
Right. Yeah, if you're not having fun,
Right.
why?
Like, seriously, have fun with this stuff.
There are more than enough things happening in this
Mhm.
world
Tell
that
them.
are unsavory. Well, that'll be the
Yeah,
nice word that I'm
tell
gonna
them.
use for it. That you again, it's another thing where you have to like mentally curate your headspace and you just have right now you just have to fight to like keep
Yeah,
yourself there because you open your phone, scroll through anything, and it's
yeah.
another wild
The dumpster
whatever.
fire,
Ugh.
going down the river, right? One of the things you
Right. And there's not enough water to put the fire out,
No.
even though it's in the
Yeah,
river.
I just which is one of the reasons why I hope when people come to Run, Try, Bike and join the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse that they
Yeah.
like, look, we wanna compete, we wanna do well, we wanna get PRs, we wanna
Yeah,
cross all the
absolutely.
finish lines, but we're gonna do it with laughter and smiles and sometimes tears. Like, emotions need to be a part of
Yeah.
all of life, and that's what we're here
Mhm.
for, right? If you're coming to hang out with us and the conversation you're having day in and day out is pace, distance, like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get bored of it really fast, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have a really it's not a unique thought, but this is just my personal take on running in general. If you want to be a pro about it, go be
Right.
a pro. There's a time, there's a space for you. There's more than enough space for you to be obsessive about your pace and how fast you are and all of that. And I give major kudos to people that are like lightning fast. Good for you. Couldn't be me. These tree trunk legs just aren't doing it these days, right? Um, and I think at this point, the that release or just the way that it has altered my ability to just regulate my own emotions over time has continued to just improve, and that is why I keep running. Not because I'm trying to like listen, I'm never going to be Q
Nope.
ever. And if I do,
Right.
fabulous. And if not, a charity will help me out because I do it is a goal one day. I'd like to do some world majors, you never
Never know.
know. Uh, but I do this because I enjoy how inclusive running can
Yes.
feel. I don't like how non-inclusive it can
It
be
can be very
sometimes.
gatekeeping,
I don't
absolutely.
right. Just like and well, how you were mentioning earlier with the social media stuff. I love social media. I love my internet friends and scrolling and goofing off and hee hee ha ha. I don't want the internet to make me
Right.
sad. I don't want it to feel like, oh, I need to log off for a while because I can't handle seeing all of this. And it's not even just running
Right.
content. It's sometimes it's just such a heavy influx, everyone trying to be performative all the time.
Yeah.
So, there's a time and a space for that, right? Like if you're trying to put content out to make your money and so on and so forth. All right, that's cool. But if that is how you are engaging with the world 24/7, where does your authenticity come into play? When does the real
It's
you
gotta be exhausting.
get to have a voice and express yourself and all of that where you're not constantly under a filter of just keep it real. I think there's so much more genuine engagement when you are real versus when you try to be just a little runner girly. And listen, if that's your stick, good for you because I do follow those accounts. Great. But
It's why we do it's why we have the We Finish, We Dance challenge. It's
yeah.
why we are hosting a class now because movement is fun. And
Mhm.
in that case, Rebecca's gonna teach us how to dance and we're gonna have fun with it and take that surface level connection one step
Mhm.
lower, right? Get deeper with it so that we can connect to each other. Um, it's how I believe we can form the relationships that we form with each other is
Yes.
because we peel the armor away and we allow people
Mhm.
in. One of the
Right.
things I wanted to ask you is with regards to the running and the type 1, you tag like hashtag type 1 diabetic runner,
Mhm.
I believe, to
Or
something.
T1D looks like me. Yeah.
Yes. And so do you ever think about the person that isn't commenting to you on social media that
Mhm.
sees that gets inspired by you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And all right, if the story gets a little lengthy, my bad. And if I shed a tear, also my bad. Once upon a time in my life, I was not managing my diabetes well. I was very sick, not prioritizing my health in a way that I needed to. And there were definitely times where I was so physically unwell that I could barely walk, I could barely move. I was in and out of the hospital constantly. And when I'm out on a run and I feel really strong and I know that I'm like in that sweet spot, I'm like, you do this for that girl. You do this for the person that couldn't do this. And I feel so lucky to have found a community that like supports me in doing that and people that see the value in why I do it. I don't do it for the accolades. Yeah, the medals and the t-shirt and the swag is fun. But I do it because once upon a time I couldn't. And I feel so grateful to finally be in a place in my life where I can take on this. Running is so fucking hard.
It's
Oh my God,
really
it's so
fucking hard.
freaking hard.
It
So
is.
when I started running last summer, I was hanging out with someone who, was, I guess not influence me, but like tell me like, oh, running is so great. And I was like, okay, let's give it a whirl. Gave it a try. Race did terrible because I think the most I had run consistently was like 2 miles, and then I was like, oh sure, I'll go run a hilly 5K. I had no idea it was what I was like putting myself up against. But it was after that race that I was like, you know what, that was hard and it sucked the whole time. I really enjoyed it. And that same person initially introduced me to running made a really crappy comment to me after I had like a low blood sugar issue that like kind of not kind of but it put me in the hospital. They said to me after that, oh well, maybe running isn't for you. And that was all I needed to hear. It was a big old guess what,
Yeah.
watch me do it. So that was like the fuel for the fire to do the half marathon, do Love Run in Philly. And then I'm gonna say I think the high of Love Run lasted maybe 4 days before I was like, "Oh, you only did a half marathon." And I was like, first of all, don't think like that because a half marathon is
Yeah.
crazy. The average person is not doing that. But the girl, I keep calling myself a girl. I am a woman. The woman that I met after I crossed that finish line was not someone I ever anticipated knowing or a
Yeah.
version of myself that I thought I would ever experience. And the high that I got from that and just the mental shift I had was so big. I was like, if I do a full marathon, can you just imagine how it's going to be after? And if you really continue to invest in this, Kennis, like this can be a huge thing in your life that's so positive, that gives you avenues to be positive for others.
Yeah.
And, maybe really get this whole diabetes thing in a more positive light as just really an everyday athlete. I'm not trying to get like a Nike sponsor or anything crazy like that. I would just like to maybe have some organizations that work with type 1s to be like, hey, this is a regular person that has the same struggles that you are, but she's going out and she's defying the odds of what so many people think this disease can limit me to. And that's why I always try to put that hashtag in there, because I never know who's
That's
gonna
it.
see it, because I am just an average person doing this hard thing and continuing to show up for myself, even on the days when I don't want to run or I feel crappy or I feel like I'm injured or whatever. You have to just keep showing up for yourself, because you never know who's watching you, especially if you're going to like make social media a part of this.
Yeah.
And so often I still will find myself getting dismayed when I see like the cute run accounts where the outfits are so perfect and the paces are so amazing and they have all of these little cutesy girls and it's mile 1, mile 2, mile 3. And that's fine if you want to do that, because like obviously I'm consuming the content, but that's not the only way to do it. There are
Yeah.
so many
Sure.
ways to engage in all of this and have it be a beautiful experience for you. And however you make that happen for you, that's what makes you an everyday athlete, in my opinion.
And it's why we have the business that we have, because we want to see the person who's doing the mile 1, mile 2, mile 3 thing but we want to see the runner with type 1 diabetes. We want to see the queer runner. We want to see the person of color runner. We want to see the physically challenged or disabled athlete. Like, as a matter of fact, we just dropped new merch yesterday where we have a shirt that says "Here for the Disabled Race." And we have the Disability Pride flag logo on the shirt, because it's important that, for me, when I started the company, right, the vision and mission was to prove that there's a spot at the starting line for everybody and every body. And if I turn my gaze away from everybody, then I'm not living up to the vision and mission that I created when I started this business. And so we want to recognize people, and we want to bring more people into the fold and into the running community and endurance sports in general. If you hike, if you swim, if you bike, and you only do one of those things, or you do all of those things, come hang out with us, because we're going to give you a lot of support. Before I move on to our rapid fire food questions, which I'm one, excited that you listened to past episodes, but I'm slightly disappointed that you listened to past episodes. I want to give a shout out to the people who have joined us on Instagram, because it is awesome. Hamilton Burton, thank you for being here. Fremont 1998, thank you for being here. Krissy Murphy, thank you for all of the things you posted, including your heart, hands, appreciate you. Stephen, thanks for being here. Heidi, thanks for being here. Derek, my guy, thank you for being here. Alexandra, Iron Fig, Biz ZB. If I don't say that purposefully, I will have butchered it. Thanks for being here. And Joey Huertas, thank you for being here on another one of our shows. So are you ready for our rapid fire food questions? And
I am. I'm going to put this away because I don't have memorized what I wrote down. So I literally have a notebook with notes. I'm trying.
Okay, what's the first note say? What's the first note say?
So the very top of this says, what is your prep for daily runs, Kennis? Which you did ask me. What is your race prep? Which you also did ask me. No one told me to write these things down. This is just how my brain works. I'm constantly thinking 1,000 thoughts. My head is a health. I did hear, well, this is part of, and then this is part of the rapid fire question. So I'm not going to say these answers out loud, and I'm not going to look at them because I also don't remember.
Oh, so you just wrote it.
So
you didn't write
I wrote
the
that like 2
questions
weeks
down.
ago. Right. Well, as I was watching previous stuff, I was jotting down the types of questions and what my answer would be in case you asked me. So I had the perfect answer. And this is a prime example of, yes, you can plan for everything for a run or a race, but as it comes to you, you just got to go.
I cannot wait to when I get nominated for a Pulitzer. I'm bringing this episode out and being like, look, I had to have Kennis Bero, prep for this rapid fire food questions.
It was a very daunting task.
Walter Cronkite,
but I'm ready.
Dan Rather, and Jason Bahamundi.
All up there, all three of you.
John Gray, thanks for joining us. You joined in at the right time. We're going to be doing our rapid fire food questions. As you know, I am a huge Oreo fan, so we'll start there. OG, double stuff, mega stuff, thins, cakesters. Where do you go when you go to the store and you're pulling out you're grabbing for the Oreos?
So there's, for just my everyday Oreo, it's mood dependent. I'm a very mood driven person. So I am not a huge chocolate fan, but I do like original classic Oreos. Miss me with the double stuff. Blech, no thanks. But most of the time I'm going with the golden Oreo. So when my single serve golden Oreo showed up in my welcome pack, I was like,
do you know
this is
how impossible that package getting to you is in having that golden Oreo in there? Because I have a box full of Oreos and it has double stuff, it has the original, and it has golden. And the fact that you are a golden fan and got a golden is amazing, because Rose Scoville also got a package of golden Oreos, and that's her absolute favorite too. So I'm 2 for 2 here. I should go play the lotto.
You're batting a thousand. I'm gonna be honest. When everyone was posting about the apple pie a la mode Oreos. At first,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, you don't really like other flavors. Why are you Nope, went and got it, and I think I shared maybe 3 out of that entire pack, and mostly so that I could have the person I was sharing it with be like, I need to put you on to this Oreo. It's that good." And I did do a thing where I put a singular Oreo in the bottom of a coffee cup, put a couple drops of milk on it, warmed it up in the microwave for like 45 seconds, and then put a scoop of ice cream on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was chef's kiss.
My guy Tommy, who I had on here, who is a huge Oreo fan. I thought I was a big Oreo fan. He
Okay.
trounces me. He has like exclusive packages of Oreos that they were
Oh.
selling, like uber limited edition, that he has not even opened because he wants
Oh.
to save the pack. Like, blows my mind. But he did the apple pie a la mode and made it apple pie a la mode with ice cream, and he said it was phenomenal.
Now I've tried. So I have a friend of mine. She's really into trying all of like the goofy flavors that Oreo comes out with, and there's been a few where I'm like, why would anyone consume this? This is disgusting. Like I get it, Oreo, you're trying to make money, but that wasn't it.
The apple pie and the blueberry pie are the only other
Yeah,
2 Oreos that have gotten double thumbs up from me besides the OG. Everything else is 1 or a half of 1, but
yeah.
those
I
2.
remember I tried one when they did like the Swedish fish flavor.
Yeah.
I was like, why? They're just doing shit to do it. Not
You
girl, baby girl, what is you doing?
you knew you could, but you never asked yourself if you should.
Precisely.
Licorice, red or black or neither?
Definitely red. I'm a Twizzlers girly. Sorry, all you Red Vine fans. I think as I've gotten older, I've been more interested in black licorice now that my taste buds have evolved. It's not my go-to, but I'm not going to say no to it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
With
It's
the
just kind of
Twizzlers, do
there.
you cut off the ends and use it as a straw?
I like the pull and peel ones better
Okay.
because it is still fun to play with your food from time to time.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the reasons that Ethiopian food is one of my favorite cuisines.
I love to eat with my hands.
Right?
It makes me feel so primal.
Yes. Like, give me the injera. I'm picking up the whole
Yeah.
plate, throwing it all in
Yeah.
there. It's all over my face. I have to wear a bib napkin. Like, come on. We're getting in.
If the food isn't on your face, were you even eating? You know? That's all I have to
Peeps.
say about that.
Are Peeps a real candy, or are they just rocks covered in gold glitter?
I love Peeps. I
Oh,
shouldn't
no.
love Peeps. I shouldn't love them because it's like, granulated foam, right?
Yeah.
Foam covered in granulated sugar. But I do. Have you ever done
No.
like one over the
Nope.
fire? Okay, it's an interesting experience. I've only done it once, and I was like, all right, that's not terrible. I can't eat a lot of them. I'm not like out here just eating Peeps on like a
On the
Tuesday in
regular.
July, but if I see like fun seasonal ones, like I found like little ghost shaped ones a couple weeks ago, and so I will add random candies into like I have this bin
What's
where
the
it's like
random candy you're adding?
it really depends on what it is. If I'm out and I just see stuff, because if I have a low blood sugar, I'm like, oh darn, I have to eat candy. So a huge fan of, Nerds gummy clusters like the
Yeah.
rest of us. I do have Peeps in there from time to time. It's not a year-round thing. I'm a big fan of juice boxes, so there are juice boxes. Sorry, there's teenagers in the house.
Love them.
What else is usually in there candy-wise? It's kind of just whatever I'm in the mood for. I do a lot of Skittles. I like Starburst. I like sugar candies. I'm not a big chocolate girl.
So let me ask you this then. Candy corn. Is candy corn a real candy, or is it just earwax covered in sugar?
Who the fuck came up with candy corn?
Brox, tell them.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I feel like it's better used for arts and crafts than it is as a consumable item. This is the thing, is that like, what even is it besides just sugar and like
sugar? My favorite is when I get told that the orange, white, and yellow have different flavors. I'm like, what?
Girl, since when? No, they don't. Just tastes like trash.
I cannot get behind candy corn, although I've been told that it's probably because I haven't had candy corn with peanuts.
That
And
sounds even worse.
yes, right? Because they're like, oh, the salty and the sweet. And I've always thought this, and this goes to pineapple on pizza too.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me you like pineapple on pizza, but you say in combination with ham or bacon or pepperoni or jalapenos, I don't think you actually like pineapple on pizza. I think
Mm-hmm.
you like having a sandwich that's in the shape of a pizza and you're eating
Hmm.
pineapple with it. And it goes the same thing with candy corn. Like if you have to add something to the candy corn,
Right.
I don't know that you actually like candy corn.
No, I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. I think that when it comes to any kind of like food consumption, when you're doing a lot of like flavor combos, do you like each of those flavors
Right.
individually, or do you just like the way that they meld
Combine.
or
Right.
don't meld for that?
Right. And there's nothing
I,
wrong with combining flavors. Look, we've all done
no.
it, right? We've all gone to
Mm-mm.
7-Eleven and we've hit the soda with all the
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
flavors to make that mashup of
Yeah,
flavors.
absolutely. Concoction of type 2 diabetes. I'm allowed to do like unsavory diabetes jokes because I have it.
It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode when he's like, I could say Jewish jokes because I'm Jewish. He goes, a
Yeah.
stickle of fluoride.
Oh, that's great.
Peanut butter or nut butter if you're allergic, creamy or crunchy.
I am a fan of all butters, peanut, sun, regular butter. There's a time and place for crunchy peanut butter. I don't know where that time and place is because it's not in my life.
On my
Um,
sandwiches.
no, not for me. As for me and my household, we don't consume crunchy peanut butter. It's a creamy house all day, every day.
Yeah,
The
I'm a crunchy. My wife is a creamy.
Oh,
I'm a
so you have to dual shop then.
yeah.
Okay.
No, because then I'll just eat creamy because I'm like, yeah, it's peanut butter. Like while I enjoy the crunchy,
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring home 6 jars of peanut butter. I'll just bring home one and it'll
Mm-hmm.
be creamy, and I'm okay with that. How do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Before you answer,
Okay.
do you go peanut butter on one side, jelly on the other slice of bread, and smash them together? Do you go peanut butter on one side, jelly on top of the peanut butter, and then fold the slice of bread over the top?
No, neither of those, right? So
What?
go. I PB. See, funny you ask about PB and J because I am a hardcore PB and J fan.
And you
So
have teenagers, so you're probably making them on a daily.
I don't make them peanut butter and jelly, but the teenagers just never stop eating. It's ridiculous. So you have bread, right? I don't
Okay.
like white bread. It's just not a preference. I'm a wheat bread girly, whatever, weird. But you got to toast it, right? You don't get crazy with the toasting. You just got to get it so that the bread is sturdy,
Okay.
right? So now you have your toasted wheat bread, peanut butter on both sides. Then jelly on one side, mix it in, right? Because there's nothing worse than when the jelly falls out all over your lap or your shirt or your face. I mean, I'm fine with getting food on my face, but like you don't want, because jelly just stays sticky for an eternity. No matter how many times you try to rinse it off, it's always there. So then you put the sandwich together, and now the vessel to hold the items is sturdy enough so that the peanut butter doesn't get too melty. You got to let the bread cool off for like 30 seconds or so. But everything's in there. It's nice and neat. The bread holds up. It doesn't stick to the roof of your mouth with the peanut butter, because who wants to stick their finger all the way in there to, hike that out? That's not classy.
I gotta tell you, like the answers I get on this show and other shows with the contemplation of how to eat, it blows my mind, and it's why we do these, because it leads, you get a real feel for that person's personality.
Yeah. And I'm going grape jelly over strawberry every time. Strawberry jelly is good. It's still good, but I like the classic.
But I will tell you, I go pinkies up with blueberry. St. Dalfor makes a blueberry. They're the thin bottle at the grocery store.
Okay.
It's expensive, but I love it. And then there's I don't remember the name of it, but the one that has like the red plaid picnic.
Yes,
right?
They make
a
preserves, whatever that brand is
Yeah,
called.
they make a great cherry one. And so I get cherry for them and blueberry from St. Dalfor.
I've never tried cherry. I'm going to have to add it to the list.
Give it a whirl. All
Okay.
right, so every person has been to a grandma's house, an aunt's house, somebody older's house whose candy bowl has butterscotch, has a caramel, has the strawberry that's in the strawberry wrapper that has like the liquid in it, and then also has the swirled peppermint. Which one are you taking out of that bowl?
What am I taking?
Yeah, you only get one.
I'm going the strawberry every time.
Really?
Yeah, that was my pick as a kid, and mostly because it was a sensory experience to crunch it, like right when it's still a little hard, but you could
Yes.
definitely get through it without busting your tooth in half.
Yes.
And then, you got like it was like a different type of candy experience within another candy, 2 in 1. I do like a caramel, but they mess with my fillings. Because I'm always
Yep.
terrified I'm gonna like pull the caramel out of my tooth, and then there goes my filling with it.
No doubt a dentist created half of these candies, right? There's
Oh, for
no
sure. I
doubt.
mean, you have to create job stability
That's right.
sometimes.
Before I get to the next one, thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, JJ Bursk and Coach Sabrina for joining us. Derek is with you on peanut butter on both slices of bread. He's
You
there with
have
you
to.
as
You
well.
have to.
Favorite flavor of ice cream is?
I'm mad boring. I go hard for a soft serve vanilla cone with rainbow jimmies. If you're not from the tri-state area, and if you're from the tri-state area and you don't call them jimmies, something's wrong with you. But if you're from everywhere else in the world, yes, I know they're sprinkles. That's like my go-to.
That's
My
good though.
my second, like if I want like an actual flavor of ice cream, I'm going chocolate chip cookie dough every time.
You said you're not a big, huge fan of chocolate, but do you have a favorite candy? It doesn't have to be a chocolate bar, but a favorite candy.
Which ironically is Reese's cups or Reese's cups. After
Reese's.
I was just like, I don't like chocolate, but I'm like,
It's the peanut butter.
It's the peanut butter chocolate combo that I like. The peanut butter is the saving grace on those. But I like the mini ones, and I like to bite the bottom part off with the peanut butter, and sometimes I'll throw the chocolate top away. Don't tell.
Whoa! Mind
Or I eat them, but most of the time I throw them away. I know. Straight to hell. Straight to the pits of hell for that one. Straight to the pits of hell.
Are you excited for the jack-o'-lantern Reese's to be coming out here soon? They're coming out already.
Yeah, I like the ones that come out. Well, the ones for Valentine's Day, sometimes when they put the like white pink chocolate, they look like a ball sack. So I don't.
Yes.
They didn't really do a lot of like field testing with that one, because I'm sure at least one consumer would have said these look like nuts. I mean, I would have straight out of the gate. Be like, these look like old ball sack, but whatever. But I do like those because they're fun, and they always have more of the Reese's peanut butter in them than the regular ones. I don't like the Reese's peanut butter and jelly ones. They're disgusting.
No, I've never tried those. That just seems like wrong.
Sometimes you can make a good thing with the random collabs, right? But then sometimes it's just too much. Too much.
All right, 2 more questions for you. Is red velvet cake a real flavor, or is it just chocolate cake dressed up to go to the prom?
I'm going with the second one because I know that it is just chocolate cake with red dye.
Yeah.
Because I've made it. I have a funny story about red velvet cake. I made someone like a birthday cake once, and it was red velvet, with the cream cheese frosting and all of that. And this person decided that they were, everyone got their little slice, and then there was the leftovers. Well, they decided that they were going to eat the remainder of the cake in one sitting. And then, not to be gross and TMI, but they thought they were shitting blood because there was so much red dye in it that when they pooped out the cake, they thought they were bleeding from their asshole.
Call 911.
Nope, it was just the cake.
Nope, just cake.
Yeah.
Last question for you. A tray of brownies has come out of the oven. It's been cooling it long enough that you can now take a fork or knife to it without ruining it. Are you going corner? Are you going edge? Or are you going into the middle for the ooey gooey?
I'm greedy, and I'm going to go corner and middle. Because if I made the brownies, I'm getting 2. That's why they invented insulin, so I can eat whatever the hell I want.
Now, do you put like pecans or walnuts? Do you prefer either or?
No nuts
No
on a
nuts?
brownie. Ugh. I put nuts in other food, but like on a brownie, it makes me think that I'm trying to make it healthy, and there's nothing healthy about a brownie, right? So again, big chocolate peanut butter fan. I like to do a little drizzle on there. Now I have been known to melt peanut butter and then mix it into the
Oh, yeah.
brownie, add some kind of like candy or marshmallow topping if you're getting fun. Maybe a little Nutella in
Ooh.
there, or if you really want to get fancy, I make my fake cosmic brownies. There's no drugs in them, because I did have someone ask me, what kind of cosmic are we talking here? And I was like, no, these are just regular, like fun. I did like the hard shell chocolate stuff, do that over it, and then I put sprinkles on it.
Now we're coming to your
Good.
house for brownies. Wow. You got
I
all
love
kinds of
to bake.
varieties.
I really like to bake brownies. It was because I had a crush on a boy in high school, and his favorite dessert was brownies, and I was like, bacon brown. I was like, he will like me through food. And then I realized very quickly that I sounded like a psycho, and I stopped baking them.
You're a coffee fan, you said.
Yes.
And so here's my recommendation to you. The next time you make brownies, plain brownies,
Mm-hmm.
put a little piece in the bottom of a coffee mug
Oh,
and put
okay.
coffee ice cream over top. And
Yeah.
then this way, as the coffee melts into the brownie and you're scooping it up, you end up with
Oh,
like a
wow.
mocha.
Yeah, that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
You know what? That is gonna be my post-run treat.
Yes.
Sad. Amongst a lot of other food, probably, but
Yeah.
I will make sure that I film a little content, and I'll give you a review.
Yeah. And we better be tagged so that we could share the celebration with your
Always,
finish line at the
always,
first marathon.
always, always, always.
You've been a blast. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this talk, getting to know you a little bit more. And we will absolutely be rooting and cheering you on over the next 2 months, not shorting your time,
Still 2 months of training left.
over the next 2 months until you get to that starting line and you get to enjoy your time on the course with Krissy, which is going to be magical.
Yes, it will. I'm so looking forward to it. I've got a lot of friends and family that are coming out, trying to plan a little, post finish line gathering so everyone can either carry me or drag me somewhere after. Because 2 months without a single glass of wine is a very long time in my life. So, yeah, I'll have a sip of water, and then it's going to be
Go
bottoms up
for it.
after that. Well, cause to celebrate.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jason. It was
See
really
you
nice
soon.
chatting with you today. See you soon.
For those of you who stuck around with us for the last hour or so, thank you so much. I am a big believer that time is the greatest gift that we can give to each other, and you've given me the gift of your time. So thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform, and we'll see you next week on the next Fireside Chat.